full body warm up. Do this before your games, before your practices. You can do it before the weight room as well. As a coach, take pride and make sure your athletes are performing this correctly. Don't just let them go through the motions. For younger athletes, coaches, you should be running this. For the older athletes and the older programs, the coach can have a trusted captain to run these warm-ups and have two captains actually to make sure that they're doing them correctly. Now, as a player, take pride in what you're doing here. If you do this correctly, you will get more flexible and more mobile throughout the season. Do every exercise the way it's intended. Do not go through the motions and waste our time when you're doing this. First exercise is a Spiderman to kickback. My yellow line is the start line. I'm going to use my med ball as my finish line. On the field, you'll use this down the right field line or down the left field line, depending on where you're warming up. If you're waiting for a game to get started, this should be done outside of the field, on the outside of the fences, making sure you're warmed up. That way, when you step on the field, you're ready to warm up and start going. So, Spider-Man to kickback, I'm going to take a lunge step out here. Whatever leg I'm lunging out with, that's the arm I'm bringing down. So I'm going to bring my right elbow down to the ankle. Go by 2 seconds on this. 1001, 1002. Come up to a hamstring stretch, 1001, 1002, and then into a lunge stretch, 1001, 1002. The lunge stretch is skipped. Do not skip that. It's vital for the hip mobility. Next leg, lunge, elbow in, pull toe up, 1, 2. Lunge stretch, 1, 2. Repeat. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. That's your Spider-Man to kickback. The next one is an interim to Sumo. We're going to walk it out with the hands, walk it in with the feet, walk it out here, walk it in under control. As soon as you can, keep the legs as straight as possible. Get under a Sumo position. Push your elbows into your knees and drive them out. Return. Again. Walk it all the way in, out. Push the knees out. Hold that position. You should see my heels flat. If the heels aren't flat, get the heels out wider. Head up, chest up, neutral spine, getting that flat position. These first 2 exercises are not the fun ones because they're hard. Make sure you do them right because they're the most important ones to make sure you're getting the flexibility that you need and make sure you're staying mobile when you're playing all these games over and over. Next exercise is a hurdler. All it is a walking, stretch, pulling on the quad. You're reaching down on the ground with the opposite hand, pulling on the quad, reaching down with the opposite hand. You're walking back and forth, rotating back and forth. All the way down. So, down the outfield lines, if you're doing this, halfway between first and second base is the first exercise. From the halfway point to second base is the next exercise. So you're doing 2 exercises per the distance of first base to second base, 90 feet. So, next exercise is Frankenstein's. You're doing this with a skip. Bring the knee up, toe up, opposite hand, opposite leg. Remember that. Opposite hand, opposite leg, Frankenstein's. From there, close gate with a skip. I like to have the athletes put the hands on top of the head. You're going to close gate with a skip. Knee up, toe up. Make sure the knee comes out to the side first and then closes in the front, okay? On the way back, open gate with a skip. Open the gate, full range of motion, all the way back to where we started from. From there, we go a forward lunge with rotation high. So we're going to be rotating high. Lunge, rotate high. Lunge, rotate high. Then when we return, we're going to go a lunge, rotation of low. Rotate to the side of the knee that's forward. Lower back mobility, rotational mobility. After we do that, we're going straight to a rocking side lunge. Open the hips up a little bit. For the rocking side lunge, you'll go halfway, leading with the right foot, then you'll finish the second half leading with the left foot. So lunge out, rotate side to side, step back, lunge out, side to side. Get a good stretch into this. Notice how my lead foot has got my heel flat. I shouldn't see heels coming up. If you see heels coming up like this when they're doing this, that's an ankle mobility issue and a hip mobility issue. It needs to be addressed. So then when we return, left side, good mobility. Left side, good mobility. Working on increasing that range of motion. Notice how I'm getting into a prayer position every time I'm doing this. Okay? It's your rocking side lunge. Next one, a little plyometrics. Get some height on these, power A jumps. You will do these the full distance between first and second base. Opposite arm, opposite leg, we're practicing proper running form. Elbows at 90 degrees, we're driving the arms up like we're uppercutting through, punching somebody right in the face. Get some height into it. Knee up, toe up. Bang. Those are your power A jumps. Now we go straight to lateral runs. I repeat, lateral run, not a karaoke, okay? You name one sport where you cross your feet from behind, I'll tell you you're not athletic. Get your feet crossing over, right over left, then left over right. I'll show you. Most guys will start trying to do this and they're uncoordinated and they try to go backwards like that. Again, name one sport where you're crossing your feet from behind, there isn't any. So right over left, first one, low athletic position, boom. Quick feet, all the way down. I'm going to repeat, left over right. Quick feet, all the way down. That's your lateral ability to move side to side, okay? If I'm playing shortstop, my first motion, I'm gonna be to my side. If I'm gonna backhand here, or if I'm gonna come off to my side, boom, ball, make my throw. You're not gonna see an athlete do this. Otherwise, you're coaching them wrong. Next, we go straight from lateral runs to 2 to 4 30-yard sprints at your steel technique. So, steel technique. I'm not going to go over details in that. I saved that for other videos and future videos. But when you're looking for steel technique, remember, it's a slightly open stance. Make sure their first movement is that crossover. Not a jab step where they're not covering much ground. Not a false step back, and not the back leg coming back. So 2 to 4 sprints, it's simple enough. As a coach, if your athletes are stealing, get a guy out there, work on like a pitcher, okay? I'm going to the home plate. As soon as you see the pitcher go, boom, that's when they're breaking. That's how you get the extra reps in and making sure you're getting your steel work in and your better start. So right here, steel position, boom. You've got 2 to 4 of those. Coaches, if you see them not doing it right, you make them do it again. Players, leaders, if you see them not doing it right, you do it again. From there, we go to the upper body. We go shoulder stretches. So these are your basic shoulder stretches. You go right arm across, holding right here. Hold this from anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds, depending on how long you need it. Opposite arm, same thing. You shouldn't see this. If you're doing this, you're not taking it seriously, you're not getting the stretch. This is doing nothing for me right now. Pull, get that stretch across the body. Tricep stretch. Right arm first, get that palm flat on the back. Increasing that mobility here, okay? Other arm, tricep stretch right here. From there, we go straight into what I call windmills, okay? So we're on exercise 15 of the warm-up, full body warm-up. All I'm going to do is I'm going to bend over at 90 degrees, get some scapular mobility and some rotational and lumbar mobility. So I'm going to be right here, back and forth. You're looking for about 15 to 30 reps, under control, as much as you need. So as soon as I get done with here, I go for a partner internal rotation. That is when I stand straight up. As you can read in the outline of the stretches, partner is going to internally rotate. If I don't have a partner, or if I'm not doing this correctly, if he's internally rotating and I'm collapsing my chest, I'm not doing that right. We're going to lay down, get a sleeper stretch position. Arm's going to be flat, elbow's going to be straight through here. I'm going to bring my palm down to the ground and get that flexibility work that I so desperately need as a baseball player. We're constantly in external rotation. We need the mobility for internal rotation to make sure that we're mobile in that backside and our deceleration muscles are taking care of everything and they're mobile enough to take care of the deceleration. So I'm here, hold this, 30 seconds. Nice, good, strong hold. So, when I get done with all these stretches, athletes have, what I give is I give them a 30 to 60 seconds of Oyo. Oyo means on your own. Whatever else you feel like you need, you implement. Now, if there's a pitcher starting for the day, okay, obviously he's going to be on a different time, so he should start this warm-up with his catcher before the team starts it. That way he can start on his band routine and his own personal routine to make sure he's ready to rock and roll when the game gets started. Take pride in what you're doing. This is the full body warm-up program implemented on video. There you go.